Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another tutorial video. In this one I'll be showing you how to create this cool John Wick inspired poster design using these assets here, or this will help you just come up with your own designs around the sort of movie poster alternate concept. So we're starting off by just making a color overlay and making that black. We're then grabbing our rectangle tool and we're just typing in these boxes. If you just click the screen, it should give you the option for this box. Just type any old numbers in these 4 boxes for now, as it won't matter too much because we will be changing them in a few seconds. But do note down these numbers that I'm putting in here, because these will be very useful in the next section, because we'll have to retype in these numbers to get the correct position that we want the generic sort of rectangle to be in. So we're just going to retype those numbers into these boxes now, and it should give you sort of the height of the general rectangle wants to be, as well as the sort of position that we want the rectangle to be in. But we will be altering this as well. Now, if you are using your own designs, or not your own designs, if you are using your own images, is what I meant. If you're using your own images, then be thinking about different sort of images that you want to use. I recommend picking 7 good images to use. And then basically once you've got your images, you want to be adding like a half-tone pattern, which is what I've done here. I've just added a half-tone pattern and altered the contrast, and it's made it this really sort of light blue color, which works well when we start adding that into the concept. So what I'm doing here is I'm just repositioning and playing around with these photos. As you can see, I've got 4 decent photos. I've got some landscape photos, some portrait photos, and then we'll also be adding in that little bit of space there isn't big enough for a photo, so I just picked a quote from the film, used a nice font, and just sort of fixed that into that position, and then just altered the imagery around it, just like this. And then we're just altering that rectangle, and it should fit nicely, just like this. We're then converting that into a smart object when you're happy with that, and you want to make sure you add a color overlay that is black, and you want to put that on overlay, and it should just darken the blue if you are using the blue color. And then we're just typing out this number here, because this gives that really good sort of red color that I was going for in the design. It also has a really sort of nice pearlescent thing when we add the other color overlay. So we're just putting that on subtract here. You then want to click your clipping mask next to that, and I'm now just rubbing out the section just around the text. We're leaving the images as they are, just rubbing out the bit by the text so the entire color fits together. You then want to save that, and then that is one of your sections done. The easiest way of doing this is to go into your layers, select your rectangle, copy and paste that so you've got the exact same rectangle shape, just like this. Position that near the top, and this is where you're going to grab your next couple images. So for me it was 1 to 4 at the bottom, and then 5 to 7 for the top, as I wanted to add sort of a bigger text with Keanu Reeves' name up the center of the screen. So I'm just positioning that in the same way you position the other ones. Just put it should fit nicer, as you know the boxes will be the exact same shape. when you're doing this. So as you can see, these ones fit in much better once we have that initial shape down. We're then just typing out the Keanu Reeves name and just positioning, turning that just like that and positioning that up the middle of the screen just like this, dragging it out just so it fits about there is where you want to be with it. And then just select all your layers, create a smart object and add the exact same filters you added for the bottom section. So the black on overlay and the blue on subtract, I believe it is. There's blue, then put that on subtract there, and then rub, and then once you've done that, rub out the name again using the same clipping mask section. So just quickly rub out the names. If you're looking for sort of nice fonts to use for this, just browse over the font. They usually have a lot of good fonts for every theme you could want. So I do recommend going over there and just sort of browsing around the different fonts for whichever design you're wanting to do. So we now have those two sections as they are. We're just positioning those into the middle of the screen, and we're now gonna proceed to group them as a smart object, just for now, while we get the exact sort of transforms I'm wanting. And the transform you're going to be selecting is going to be skew, as that is the easiest way to do this. But as you can see, it alters them both at once, making it much easier to play around. So I'm now just positioning those into the center and messing around with how I want the skew. I suggest leaving a decent space around the edges and a bit of space at the bottom if you want to add text in that bottom corner. As you can always just keep going into the transform and skew and just keep making it higher or lower depending on what you guys are wanting to achieve. So I was pretty happy with this sort of layout I had going. So I then added, made the black background visible again, and then I just typed out this number here, numbers and letters, which will give me another sort of cyan blue color, which will give me the pearlescent finish that I was looking for from the original design that I showed you. So that is the number that we're going to need, and you want to create clipping mask just so it's over those two boxes, and that will be on saturation just like that, and that gives the really nice sort of pearlescent colors. We're then just changing the text, and this is where you guys can input your own bit of text. I just put in the name of the film. I just put in John Wick. I put in, and then I went on ChatGPT and I asked for the AI to write me a paragraph about what John Wick's about in their own words, and I then copied and pasted that in. But we're pretty much just skewing the text to fit the shape of the design. Now, as you can see, when I was moving the text up, I noticed a big sort of section at the bottom. That is a very easy fix. You just go into your smart object that has your two main sort of blocks, and you just move that bottom block up a bit and then save it. And then about there I was happy with, so I then just moved all that to the middle, and that is what we did for the text. So the last thing I wanted to add was just the sort of blood overlays are found. A lot of these sort of overlays, I put this one on linear burn as it looked sort of more realistic that way. You can find a lot of these really good PNGs online. If you just search what you're looking for on PNG, should come up. And then I didn't want the sort of splatters to go over the text, so I just sort of created a clipping mask and went over the text and got rid of that over the text. I just wanted a more sort of finished, sort of clean look for the text, and didn't want it alter it a lot to the point where it was unreadable. That is why. So that is the main bulk of your design, and then we're just adding in that bulk of text I was talking about, just skewing that to fit the shape of the design. It should be really easy to fit once you've got those initial squares down. Everything else should be really easy to sort of skew into place, and I'm then just gonna add my website address. I obviously need to plug it every single episode, every single video, just because it's clothing brand, and that is, I'm just trying to get it sort of up and running, and hopefully it will help increase sales in the future. So that is why I tend to add my website address, but obviously you guys will be using your own text for that, and just sort of skewing it into place. And that is the finished product. It is quite a simple design once you've got the sort of half-tone patterns down, that sort of stuff that you guys can experiment with in your own time. And without further ado, I hope everyone did enjoy the video. Make sure to check out my website, darkpeakgraphics.net, if you want to pick up some cool clothing. We're going to have some new stuff coming very, very soon, so make sure to sign up on there so you never miss out on that. We have a new phone case up, and there'll be more coming very, very soon. I'm also going to be streaming on Twitch very, very soon. The Twitch name I've come up with is going to be Stocks Plays, but it probably won't say that forever, but that is what it is for now. I thought it was jokes, but pretty much we're just going to be playing games over there. So a different sort of thing. On this channel we're doing the tutorials and all the design work. Over there we'll be doing all the gaming stuff, as I do want to have a gaming channel of some sort. So it's going to be on screen right here. It's just Stocks Plays spelled like this. It's not exact spelling of my last name, but I wanted to be, you know, a bit sort of on the edge, a bit sort of edgy when it comes to the creation of the name, as it still sounds the same. But I thank everyone very much for their support on the videos. Make sure to like and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see everyone in the next video.